when it came to y'all. That is, I allowed your girlfriend badass kids to come over my motherfucking house. And when my kids even told me, like, mama, they bad. And they bad as fuck. Them kids bad as hell. Pushing my motherfucking son head into a damn wall. And boy, but let that have happened at my house, where somebody that I was dating pushed our child head in the damn wall. You be quick to call CPS, and they know that I'm not lying about that either. Cause soon as I left you, you called CPS and they couldn't find nothing either. You kept on sitting there making up a whole bunch of lies. That was what, back in 2016, 17, 18. One of them, I don't remember, but yeah, you was. It was a lot of them CPS reports, and every time they called or came to my house, they couldn't find nothing. And when you called, they couldn't find nothing. But Mr. Hester, how in the world are you being cool with somebody that called you a doggone pedophile when you was around their dang on kids, when you know for a fact you ain't even like that? But then how in the world you contradicting yourself? At one point in time, this man was supposed to be a pedophile, but then you end up giving him his child because you gonna tell me, well, the only place that I can take her to is her daddy. Well, you know this man actually is diagnosed with mental illnesses and issues and all other kind of stuff, and they trying to figure out the type of medication that he can take, and you know that he's on medication multiple times, or you know he sleeps all doggone day because of the medication that he take. But you've been knowing that because you've been knowing this man at least 5 years, and you knew that even when I was talking to him, and my kids or our kids were just around him before me and his child even came into the picture. I'm just confused. Like, y'all stories are not adding up. Something is just not right. And Mr. Freeman, your storyline is all messed up. They are seeing that you just a cheater. Point blank period. Underline the story, you a cheater. You had a good girl at home. She wasn't good enough for you. You decided to want to get what's better, wanted to have more. You thought you were finna have your cake and eat it too. Yada, yada, yada. You probably lied to both of us and tried to have both of us going at each other. But you messed up because I was pregnant when you left. And that's big problems for you. Because any two times legally somebody hear about a man, then you might as well say, I was your wife. I was a stay-at-home wife taking care of home while you were supposed to be at work, and I found out that you was cheating on me, and you end up just leaving and abandoning me. Pretty much how Dallas did, because if I'm legally still supposed to be, he living with a whole nother female. And I'm in the house by myself, abandoned. Ain't that pretty much what it is? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we're just going to, legally, I'm not your wife, but I'm just saying, that's the same role that you was playing, right? Yeah, because not even a whole year ago, you sat right down there in that living room. And that's another thing. Cause you pissed me off that day, because New Year's, I really wanted to be by myself. I convinced you to go out. Dinner. You decided no. You wanted to make it seem like you was turning over a whole new leaf, like you was trying to really be with me, and yada yada yada. All the while, I knew that you was outside talking to that girl about why you wasn't going nowhere with her, or whatever the case may be, because you kept on walking out. And when I was standing right there in front of that TV, mm, when I paused the TV, see, you talk too doggone much, and you don't know that I'm sneaky as hell, just like you. Mm-hmm. That's what that sneaky behavior come in, and that's what you was peeping from me, and you didn't like it, and you got in your doggone feelings, and that's when you just up and jumped and left. And I'm just like, well, you was already doing it any doggone way, so don't get mad at me, baby. Shoot, you saving both of us a doggone argument and conversation. Like, I was in my feelings because you really just didn't give me confirmation that you were doing it, so I wanted to have high hopes. As many times you sat right there in my face and lied and said you wasn't cheating, and that's another thing. That's another thing. You remember the bar soap thing and the hair situation, and you was just like, I don't even know why you coming at me like that. I wouldn't even do that, but you did. Um, Cleaning Out My Closet comes to mind. That may be the title of this video. Eminem. Damn, that must have happened in the situation with your mom and daddy before. That's where you got this sneaky ass behavior from. Yeah. Get what? You know how I told you that I know him. You know how I told you that I know you. He just like my daddy. Yeah. I mean, honestly, come on now. How many of y'all know about the situation with Teresa Johnson? I think that's her name. Teresa Johnson. Yeah, the white woman that my daddy was dating. Miss Teresa. Come on in the building, baby. Hey, mama, love you. All the rest of that. I ain't seen you, talk to you in a long time, but It is what it is. Come on back in the building. What you picking my dad up down the street on the corner of North Holly Street? And my daddy told you that that was his sister's house, but in reality, that was actually really him in my mama's house, his wife's house. Yeah, when you was coming to get me and him and we was riding and chilling and all the rest of that. So explain to these men that I'm communicating with that I know all about their ways because I done seen it. I was literally right there beside my daddy through this whole situation. When my brothers was doing the same stuff, I was right there. I was the one sitting there answering the door telling my brother's girlfriends, now he ain't here, knowing he in the room with a whole nother female. So don't try to play me like I don't know that females and people would, all the rest of that. Now, this is gonna be a little snippet of a personal that I could have gave you if you would have believed that I actually am who I am and I read energy. And I know situations and stories and conversations, and I don't even have to be there. So, Mr. Braun, didn't you and your mama have a conversation about you being with the female that you with now? Mm-hmm. Yep, I know. Didn't that conversation sound a lot like the conversation that she had with you a long time ago about being with the other female that I was telling you about? Yep, sure the fuck do. Yeah, boy. Been getting your ass for a long time. Yeah. Mm. Coaching for a long time. My family used to try to do me that way too. Everybody that was in my doggone church, they just had a husband picked out for me. And I'm talking about them men used to just come and try to shower me with stuff. Anything that I wanted, just always trying to give me. That's the reason why I don't take things from men. That's the reason why I always buy things. Now you know that. Y'all know that about me, but I'm talking to you. You know that about me personally. When I say I don't never take anything from nobody. You done seen me buy weed multiple times and I never got more than I was supposed to get. And if I ever asked for anything on credit from anybody, it had to be somebody that I trusted. And I barely even did that. That's because of the life that I grew up in. A lot of folks always wanted to shout. Now I don't know if it was because they just knew that I had stuff and they was going to eventually try to either, marry me for it or whatever the case may be. Because that's kind of how I'm looking at the situation. You remember the time that I told you about Bruce taking me to the Boys and Girls Club and all them men was just circling around the doggone car and just sitting up there. And I was in the car by myself and they would just sit up there looking. I'm talking about head up to the glass, just looking like, I'm sitting here like, what in the fudge is going on here? Like, man, if you don't get me back home, that's the reason why I stay in the house all the time. Because I'm just like, man, I don't know what's going on with y'all folks. Y'all is creepy out here. Like, some people want to marry you because you can have kids, and that's what they want, or they feel like they can get some money off you because you got kids. I don't know. Some people want to marry you just because you're cute. Some people want to marry you because they ain't got to do nothing, or they know you a stay-at-home female, or pretty much like a sex slave. Like she ain't going nowhere, so she here, she mad. All of those stuff. You got to think about it mentally. Why in the world do somebody want to be with you mentally? You have to figure this out because if it didn't just fall in your lap, that means somebody was plotting, whether it was you or that person. It could have been both of y'all. Now, what was y'all plotting on? It wasn't love. Somebody could have been plotting on love. Somebody could have been plotting on money. It don't matter. You got to understand why you with somebody. And I sat down and I figured out all my relationships. And I'm just like, for me, it was just care. So with that being said, and all the information that I do know, because by the time I do post this, y'all gonna get a lot of information. A lot of hidden secrets probably gonna be came out because I was advised to shut up. Ain't no telling when I'm gonna end up shutting up because y'all know I really don't do that often. So hopefully I done gave it enough time so my spiritual family can come on in the room and they can elaborate on everything that I've already said with my mouthpiece. So with that being said, yeah, I'm pretty sure I done gave it enough time. And I'm pretty sure y'all knows the mud suckers been listening to them doggone readings. And I'm pretty sure y'all can decipher who I am in them readings most of the time. Because I'm on the outside looking in. And all it's going to say is somebody was doing something to a single mother or a woman that was by herself or her and her kids or a community of people was hurting or harming or trying to hurt and harm and plot on folks. It's going to say a lot about some insurance policy money. It's going to say a lot about sex trafficking and all the rest of that because that's what the case was supposed to be. Yeah, it's gonna say a lot. I mean, but that's everything that I've already told y'all. But y'all think of everything in a logical sense. Y'all think somebody say sex trafficking means somebody tied up in a doggone basement somewhere and people are just having their way. No, these are new age times. Things look a little lavish now, baby. I'm telling you, folks are they'll have you in a situation that you don't even know you in. Trust me, I've been there. Mm-hmm. They'll get you stuck too. They'll get you stuck. Like you can't depend on them. I mean, you have to depend on them. Like, say for instance, you don't have a car. Mr. Freeman. I mean, not Mr. Freeman, not you. Not talking to you. Mr. White, wasn't I dependent on you and your girlfriend when I didn't have a car? But then I asked you to follow me to Burn the Road to actually get my car windshield fixed. Yeah, did. And I had the money for it too. Was saving the money the whole time until, I had to start pinching off of it to get back and forth to the store. I think my washing machine and dryer had towed up or something. It was a lot of stuff that was going on at that moment. And then not to mention, me and my kids was without food stamps for a week because they said that apparently I didn't turn in my information, but I did because I went down there personally and turned in my information, and then I had to go back with my child, and they was just like, "Oh well, we did find it," but I already called them and made sure they had it in the system, and they told me they did. So me and my children was without food for a whole week. Could you imagine how much that cost out of pocket? So yeah, y'all talking about some doggone income tax money, baby. Don't worry about it because my bills was paid and I was in this house and I had everything that I needed while sitting on my behind for at least 3, 4, 5 months with these doggone kids here, and didn't no daddies bringing no pull-ups, no diapers, no wipes. I was getting 140 from one father and 240 whenever the other father was actually paying it. So baby, don't worry about how I spend my money because it was spent very well. Wasn't nothing in here being pawned. Everything's still in here. Okay? Don't do me. I just had to put that out there. Anywho, but yeah, so I had to be dependent on somebody else. And then it was, they don't want to take me. I can't get here. I can't get there. So it's just like, well, damn. Then you start getting upset about it because, well, I did because I could have got my doggone windshield fixed. All I needed was somebody to, I was just going to follow somebody to Burn the Road. I couldn't find nobody to tow the doggone car there. So that's just what it was. And it was the only person or only place that I know that will fix the windshield. Now, mind y'all, somebody came to my home and actually bust out my car windshield with a hammer. I seen the ugly broad with the doggone black pants and the hoodie on. Matter of fact, if y'all ride down 35th Street, and go to the corner of 35th and Chandler Place, you gonna see that white box right there with them blue ass lights on it. I've been trying to tell y'all, these folks seen y'all coming in and out my doggone driveway, and they seen when y'all kicked in my door. I don't know if y'all was just oblivious to it, if y'all was stupid, dumb, or whatever, but they caught you. Shit, that's what I was trying to tell y'all to begin with. So I shouldn't even been trying to get my doggone car windshield fixed by myself anyway, because somebody came to my home and vandalized my home where me and my children were at. You know, don't even make no sense. But the feds know all this. Yeah, they do. And that's supposed to be sitting back just trying to keep my cool, but it's hard for me to do that. It's hard for me to put on the front. It's hard for me not to get pissed off. It's hard for me to sit back and wait for some action when I know it's somebody out here that my child said not only asked them for nude pictures, but was asking or said that other children were doing it too to make my child feel comfortable enough to do it. So not only am I concerned about my child, I'm concerned about other children. And y'all thought that this was legally gonna go in y'all favor. Y'all thought the justice system was not gonna see my side to the situation. Why would you think not? And then, not to mention, I told Chattanooga Police Department if anything happened to me, it was about some life insurance policy money, and the feds trying to figure out, so if she don't have the money, who has the money? Right. But y'all want to sit here and try to act like I was crazy. Then, I'm pretty sure in them readings it's been told multiple times. The reason for y'all to say that I had a mental illness is because y'all wanted to put me on medication in order to have control or some type of hold on to my money that I'm supposed to have. Everything that y'all was doing has been outed. Everything that y'all tried to keep a secret has been exposed. Now, I hope y'all gonna have a lovely doggone New Year's, because I know I am. Don't worry about it, because by the time all this stuff come out, baby, I'm probably gonna hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. No. Oh, I'm coming back. I already told y'all this. I already knew how this was gonna go. I'm just happy that I made it through, because God knows it took a lot of strength for me just to depend on him when it come to my kids, because those mine, and I'ma always do my job at protecting and serving them. You feel me? All right, I'ma holler.